You can use bartending.
So it's an art, basically,
Yes.
what you're saying. So if you are an artist,
So-
the bartending is for you.
Yes.
My name is Professor Vikas and we are in conversation with Professor Omkar, who had a very big, huge background in bartending and how he developed his career and what are the tips we will hear directly from him. Over to you, sir. So very first question is, why bartending?
For me,
Yes.
bartending has given me three things.
Okay.
First is music, second is creativity,
Wow.
and third is interaction with guests.
Lovely.
So these are the three things which I got because of bartending, which was lacking in one or the other department which I have been trained in
Correct.
when it comes to industrial training.
Right.
And obviously it was a very fun-loving profession.
Right. So why a student should take bartending apart from these three reasons? Like, do you think only these three things will motivate the students, or there are any other motivating factors?
Now, see, in my experience, last 15 years I am into this industry. I have found every single aspect which we people like.
Correct.
That means, with me, I have experienced few things. One is serving a guest,
Correct.
creating new cocktails and concoctions. That was the another one.
Yes.
So, if you want to be creative, you can use bartending.
So it's an art, basically,
Yes.
what you're saying. So if you are an artist,
So-
the bartending is for you.
Yes.
Yes.
That is so true. And the next part is like few people want money also.
Correct.
Everybody will need money. Bartending will pay you as much as money you want if you are a salesperson.
Okay, so it's a good paymaster also.
Yes.
If you use your skills right,
Yes.
and if you are an artist, this is a perfect
And
place
if
to-
you have a nice PR, then obviously you are good at events.
Correct.
And also if you are good at mixology and all, you can go for product development scenes, which I have also explored.
Correct.
Even you can go for manufacturing when it comes to taste profile development. You all can do. Even many of the beverage brands are now hiring these bartenders as a brand ambassador for their marketing activities. So
Right.
they work under sales and marketing also. So it's a wide open market
Right.
where very few people come.
Right.
in
And
bartending.
I think this topic has been discussed a lot, that we belong to hospitality industry, where the hotel industry also is segregated in two parts. One part which is given to the students, which is only 30%, and the remaining is 70%. So can you just highlight some part?
What did I understood from this 30% and 70%? This 30% is organized
Alright.
in hospitality. 70% is unorganized. Nobody knows where to go.
Alright.
So because I come from a very standalone restaurant background.
Alright.
So I started my career with standalones. So standalones normally have one owner,
Right.
one vision.
Yes.
And so I got a chance to work with one of that kind of entrepreneur
Good.
who started one lounge. That means one lounge, not the name,
Yeah.
but one lounge.
One lounge.
And after
That's
that,
a good name. Bartenders always come up with really good names. So one lounge. He just named it.
there is already a lounge called One
One
Lounge,
Lounge.
but I started my career with Kiva. So Kiva the lounge, and then later on he opened 7 restaurants
Wow.
in 5 years.
Wow.
So what I understood is in unorganized market you get more opportunities. And
Yeah, because it's completely unorganized. Nobody know what to do. And if you just keep yourself organized a bit, that
Yes.
70% market is for you. So we're talking 30-70. 30% is we're talking about official hotels, which are there, 5-star hotels, and 70% market is which is standalone restaurants and owner-based restaurants we are talking about. So this is the biggest market which is unexplored. That's what Omkar sir thinks, and obviously which is a fact also, because he has actually worked over there 15 years of experience, which really counts. So just one more question I had, sir. What a student should do on a daily basis? Do you have any tips so that he can or she can improvise on his or her skills in order to excel in the bartending? Any things which can be done on a daily basis?
when it comes to bartending, first of all, we need to take that bartending as a course. So for a hotel management student, I won't say much about that because he is not very keen into going and study bartending because he need to do a special course with it.
Yeah, because I also observed when I was doing my hotel management, there was a separate course which student had to take, and it was not included in the syllabus.
Yes. However, what is the basic of any trade which I come across, in my experience, there are only 3-4 things which we need to understand. First is information is everywhere.
Right.
However, every student should understand how to convert that information into knowledge.
Correct. Yes.
So synthesizing those informations and creating new experiences by which the same information can become your knowledge.
Correct. So very first point you need to understand, information is not knowledge. Information is just the random data that you get it on Google, and knowledge is something when you go actually on the field and get the right site about that business. That is the knowledge about the business. It's not only about what you read on the Google that this restaurant has 30 covers. That you won't understand how exactly it's going to run. When you actually work over there, that's when you actually get the knowledge about that.
So obviously, because knowledge is because of your experience. So if you don't have an experience or take an experience, your information is useless. First of all. And as soon as your knowledge is based on experiential information, you start generating new skills. Because that triggers your interest in learning new things. Because you want to know.
Right.
Because in my case also, I went for a job and I thought they will give me in service as a waiter. Okay. But fortunately, one of my friend and even my senior was the senior bartender there, and he told me, you are not working in service, you will be working in bar. So you never know.
Yes, exactly. Life has a lot of surprises to offer you. You just have to be ready and enthusiastic and obviously artistic, as he said, and like these flowers are. Yes.
So obviously, if you want to celebrate your knowledge, you need to have skills.
Correct. So what you're trying to say, if a student wants to develop his bartending career, he has to take a separate course, and also he has to have a lot of interest. Yes. Also, he need to go on field and take the real time experience, not only read about it, but go in real bars, talk to the bartenders, maybe have real time talk with them, and then you can have a real knowledgeable experience about it. So this is a short term. You can do it on a daily or a weekly basis.
Every day you can celebrate your knowledge. So every single beverage, I would suggest start with a नींबू पानी.
Correct. Obviously, that is.
घर पे आप 2 लोगों के लिए नींबू पानी बनाइए आज. गर्मी का मौसम है. कल वापस बनाइए. The skill is आज जो टेस्ट था वही कल भी आना चाहिए.
Correct. Yes.
So every beverage which we make at home, a chai also, is a mixology. You extract flavors, so you understand how much water, how much chai patti, how much milk, which milk. If it is a Katras milk, then different taste.
There is a different
taste. Milk, then different taste. Yes. So every ingredient will give you have the information that do this, do. Milk is milk, water is water. But which water? When to add, how to add.
So every nooks and corners you need to know and go into details. That is on a daily. Anything for the long term that you can suggest for 6 months or 1 year maybe? What can be done?
In bartending, you need to develop, you can say, an attitude. Now, attitude will not change every day. But if you practice every day, attitude will automatically come to you. You need not to express yourself and show attitude at. So you can have an attitude, but don't show it. That's how we are taught.
Yes, obviously.
So how we should get the attitude is willingness to serve. So long term, if you talk, or we are talking about bartending, if you are willing to serve someone, bartending is the key.
So that is a long-term thinking that you need to develop within yourself, and once you develop that thing, obviously the daily skills you have to follow, and everything will fall in place. That's what you want to say?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. And any message that you would like to give for the young bartenders which are around, which can take tips from you maybe, can get inspired? Do you have any fan page that they can follow? Do you have any Instagram, Facebook, YouTube account?
Yes, obviously I think that I am a bartender by profession. Secondly, for young people, they should know very simple thing like presenting the same drink in a different styles. Presenting the same drink in the sense, if you are having cosmopolitan, very basic recipe, but if you are serving it in a different styles and fashions, the same cosmopolitan can become a different experience for different customers. So creating a theater experience to your simple drink is what the need of this trade is right now. And for young bartenders, they should definitely work on their presentation skills because classics will remain classic. The combinations which are there with classic won't change a bit, but presentation styles is.
Yeah. So it's all about how you present yourself. It's not only the chocolate which is inside, but also wrapper that matters the most.
Yes. And second thing, which after 5 years of bartending, you will realize that PR is everything. PR means personal relationships.
Yes.
So you should be able to gag or identify who are the customers jinko, I can pick them. Every day I will just make 2 guests happy. They will fetch me in another 10, 15, 20. Because after 5 years, you will definitely become a bar manager or somewhere. There will be 1 or 2 or 3 bars under you. So obviously there are 30 bartenders working under you. So you need to be very choosy when it comes to sales. So every bartender needs to do the sales. So after 5 years, I think you should work on your PR. If you are not able to do that, then the career may go a little stagnant and you won't be able to have that much of fun out of it.
Correct. So any tips for developing your PR, that's your personal relations with the guests? Is there any way to connect? Is there any knack that you have? That
knack is to, I would say, forget yourself, first of all.
This is interesting.
And try to understand the needs and the wants and the desires of others.
Correct.
What they need right now.
Correct. It's in the moment.
That's
what do you
in
need
the
right
moment.
now. You don't have to apply your 10 years of
Nothing.
knowledge that this is how I've served. If the guest is looking for this thing at this particular moment, this needs to be served. So this is called as sixth sense or common sense maybe, which is not very common, but it needs to be applied. Yeah, it was a lovely conversation with Professor Omkar Vajpayee, one of the most experienced bartender and one of the happy-go-lucky and most jolly bartender I have seen. So do follow his Instagram page also and learn from it. Definitely, I have seen a lot of good presentations, but what he does, nobody can do it. So all the best, all the students. Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you very
coming
much,
in and
Vikas,
giving your
for
valuable
this
time.
a very unique experience for me.
Thank you so much. See you on the next.